Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network and the Digital Sim Sports Network and our live coverage of the SimRapMarket.com Mighty Midget Series. What a fantastic Thursday evening it is. Eldora Speedway, site of some of the best finishes in the series over the last couple of seasons. These guys put on a heck of a show every week, but when they come here, something is very special about this place for these drivers and this series. We saw two of the best finishes I think we've ever seen in this series. The last time we were here, last season, 2023, at the end of the season. And I'll tell you what, it was some awesome racing. I know that a driver in the series picked up his first series win here by sneaking by on the last lap. We are here, 2 races left. Brendan Rogers and Bo Brannon are in a battle. Couple of good buddies racing each other for a title. Only 2 of only 3 drivers to have won a race this season. And we are about a dozen races deep into this season. So tonight is 13 and 14. Right now, Brendan Rogers, 775 markers, and he has got Bo Brannon only 21 behind. David Krikorian, 77 back. Josh Gerlach, 88. Craig Silby, 137. Your top 5 in the 2024 B season. So the defending champ back there in the 5th spot right now. And in your overall, the Ironman series through 28 races, Bo Brannon, a 68-point advantage over Josh Gerlach. Craig Silby is 3rd. David Krikorian 4th, and Garrett Boyd way back, but a lot of racing left to do. He has 172 markers back. 4 different winners in 4 races here. Casey Miller has picked up a win. Gunnar Harris has picked up a win. David Krikorian and Garrett Boyd have picked up wins at this track for this series. Brendan Rogers' next win will move him into 3rd all time. So if Brendan Rogers wins one of these races tonight, he goes to 3rd in series wins in his first season with these guys. I mean, we're 12 races in, and the man has won 9, maybe 8. Because Bo Brannon has 3, and Josh Gerlach picked up a win last week to break into that category. Tonight's races, and then next week we will crown champion. Be over at Lima Land Motorsports Park. A couple of 40-lap features to close out the season. I don't know if anybody was or if all of you. I know some of you were, but I don't know how many of you were here for all of the opening advertisements. But a big welcome to Premier Setup Shop. New sponsor at the Dirt Racing Network. We appreciate them greatly. Anything you need for your setups, they've got some custom car packs for numbers. They do the asphalt setups as well, so make sure you go over and get the paved setups too. You can use promo code DIRTNetwork15 to get 15% off of your purchases over there. We're going to have some links and stuff up on the page here over the next few days. This deal just came together late last night, so we are trying to finalize a couple of things and get all of the ads up for you. But that's something that you can do if you're an avid racer. Go over there and check that out. We have had, under a different name, some of these guys were under a different setup shop. We've had them as sponsors here before, but good to have Premier Setup Shop on board. 14 drivers have checked in. Guys, they're about 2 minutes and 20 seconds away from firing things off. Do not forget how the first show goes. No qualifying. Random draw for your heat spots. You go race. Top 2 from each heat will get into the redraw, which will happen right at the beginning of the feature. If there's a need, which it doesn't look like there will be tonight for a B main, there would be a B main, and then we would move on to that 30-lap feature. And then show number 2, as it's always a doubleheader on Thursday nights, 2 for Thursdays. They will come in the second show, qualify top 6, get locked in, everybody else into the LCQ, which is really just a race for your final starting spot, and then cap the night off with the second 30-lap feature. All the old familiar faces, and look who is Fast Man right now. Brandon Rogers, Bo Brannon, Josh Gerlach, Billy Barrows, Reed Brochart, top 5 in the warm-up session. A little over quarter second. All the way down to about 6th. You can call it 7th because it's almost 3/10 to there. But it's a pretty close race. And like I said, we have seen last lap passes. The last 2 races here for the win. Guys, don't be afraid to shout out in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. If you got a favorite driver, make sure you shout them out too. Sorry, making a last-second adjustment to my screen here. You guys don't need to see all that. It's not worth it. You just want to say hi in the chat. We don't care. Always fun to play with. Got some news. Looks like Dirt Slingers is going to be back at it again on Monday nights, starting in about 3 weeks. I think the 10th of June is what I was given to understand. A couple of new sponsors for that series. They're going to team up with the Mars guys. Mars guys will run the pavement stuff every other Monday, and then Dirt Slingers will run an every Monday night second show, big block series, and the alternating week they will run a UMP modified series. They've got a Wheelman series going on across all 3 of those. So look for some announcements there from those guys. They'll be live right here. I will be on the call for all, if not most of, those shows. It is time now for heat racing action. 8 laps for each heat. We are going to get ready to go trackside here and find our starting grid for heat number 1. Looks like we're going to have 2 heats tonight. It's going to be the 93 of Reed Brochart on the pole. He'll have Craig Silby in the 7 next to him. Your second row inside for the first heat, the 88 Riley Scott, and on his outside, the 13 of Wayne Anelski. And I know there's a bunch of Wayne Anelski fans watching. Always is. The third row has the 66 of David Krikorian on the inside, and there is your points leader in the 49 on the outside of that third row, Bo Brannon. And then we'll have the 98 of Brett Wagner starting shotgun Charlie for this one. Drivers rolling them out. Of course. That's what we want to do every time. All right, these guys getting out here rolling them around. We will be going green this time for heat number 1.
Green, green, green.
And the green flag in the air. Brochart going to grab the early lead. Silby into second, Krikorian trying to grab third. Here comes Bo Brannon on the bottom into fourth. Lap 1 in the books, and Brochart hanging on to a slim lead. Krikorian, Brandon, and Scott are going at it. Krikorian was third. Anelski trying to get in this as well. Brandon trying to run the bottom. Looks like he is struggling just a little bit. Riley Scott goes back by him, and Bo Brandon is just stuck there in the 6th spot. Track very heavy right now. Round the top, here comes David Krikorian. He is going to take away second from Craig Silby. Silby has kept the car pretty much middle of the track. Oh, that time a big wiggle. That may open the door for Anelski, as Anelski is going to go on the attack. Big wiggle for Silby out of 4. He's going to be able to gather it up and hang on. Finally got the sound fixed to get the car sounds through to you. I was trying to work on that the whole time, guys, I promise. Brochart out in front, coming around. Going to be 2 to go this time. David Krikorian right up against the fence, and he is making up ground quickly. He may have enough time to get there and pose a challenge to Brochart for the heat win. White flag out of 4 this time, 0.3 of a second the gap. Brochart right through the middle. Krikorian with a run off the top. He's got it down to 0.2. Can he make that up? Right here in 3 and 4 for the final time. Brochart will pick up the win in Heat 1. Krikorian, Silby, Anelski, Scott, Brandon stays in 6. Started there, stayed there. And then Wagoner in that 7th and final spot. We'll get ready. Go down here. Look at the starting grid for the final heat of session number 1 tonight. It's going to be the 38 of Billy Barrows on the pole, and he'll have the 21 of Garrett Boyd next to him. Last year's Ironman champion, Josh Gerlach. I think he got that by 3 points last year. He starts 3rd in heat number 2. Mike Gebhardt, the 81, will start on his outside. And then our 3rd row, the 28 of Bobby Yankee on the inside, the 37 of Austin Motley on the out. And your current, I really don't know what else to say. The guy just wins a lot. He is big time here. He came in and won 3 of the first 4. He has picked up about 4 or 5 more since. He is not on the hot shoe tonight for the first time in I can't remember how long. But the 20 of Brendan Rogers shotgun on this. We'll see how long it takes him to get to the front as we get ready to go green for heat number 2. Billy Barrows getting us started. And the green flag. That's hot. Barrows to the lead. Here comes Gerlach. He's side by side with Boyd. Boyd right up to the fence, and I know that is not the favorite place for the driver in the 21 machine. Now, Gerlach works his way around Boyd, at least for the moment. Boyd fights back on the top. This is a battle for 2nd and 3rd. And here comes Rogers, started at the 7th, already going to make a challenge to get into the top 3, as he is just going to go all the way to the fence as Boyd gives up that line. And now Brendan Rogers making it work. And Rogers just running them down, absolutely driving the wheels off that thing. Closing the gap. He's going for 2nd. We're not 3 laps into this thing. Brandon Rogers around Gerlach. Gerlach will fight back on the bottom, but I don't know if he's got enough to get there and hold it. Slider in 3 and 4 from Gerlach. This time by, he keeps the spot. Rogers with the slider in 1 and 2. Up off the top. Gerlach didn't have enough momentum to shut the door, and this time Rogers makes it stick. So Rogers 5-2 with 3 to go. And closing in on Barrows. Popsicle sticks this time by, and Barrows doesn't know he's there, I'm sure. He is going to continue to just run that line. And Brendan Rogers, now he's got to be able to hear him. Rogers across the top, man, what a run through the center of the corner. White flag in the air. Can Barrows hang on? I don't think so. He's going to get swallowed up on the backstretch. Paint gone off the right side of the 38 car as Rogers flew past. And Brendan Rogers will go worst to first in the 2nd heat. Barrows 2nd, then Gerlach, Boyd, Motley, Yankee, and Gebhardt. If he's going to be able to do that tonight, it is going to be a very long night for everyone else, considering he's going to get to start at the front because he's not on the hot shoe. And that car was working perfectly across the top of the track, especially in the middle of the corner. Brendan Rogers may make this a long night for everybody. I don't know how they're going to tell me how long they're going to give these guys. 2 minutes will be the warm-up, so we don't have long to talk to anybody for sure. Brendan Rogers, you got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, boss.
All right, buddy. We watched you go worst to first in the heat race. Looked like the car was pretty near perfect. Is there something special about your driving style in Eldora Speedway?
No, I think the top was just feeling pretty good there. It wasn't wore out yet. Felt good there. I think there was a lot of speed if you could just keep it up in the cushion. But I don't know. We'll see how it shapes up here in the feature. I have a feeling it's going to burn off and kind of move back down to the middle and some goofy lines there. So we'll see. If I get to the front quickly, then I really won't know what's going on until someone blows by me in some different line. So just going to feel it out, see how the car feels everywhere. I'm going to keep track of, if I can get a good enough lead up front, I'll probably try some different lines and keep track of the time, see what feels good, what I'm comfortable doing. But we'll see, man. I have a lot to live up to after my horrendous performance last week.
Yeah, what, 2 podiums still, though, right?
No, I think I ran 4th in the second one, but I ran into, everyone I didn't run into got into me one way or another, so just drove over my head. Kind of trying to put less pressure on myself this week. I think that'll help, but yeah, just trying to get back into form here and, just see what I can do. I don't have the back row challenge today, so it should help.
All right, man. Well, good luck out there. Hopefully we get a chance to talk to you at the end of this one. And thank goodness you're not on the hot shoe, right?
Yeah, thank goodness. Well, I appreciate you. I'll hopefully talk to you after.
All right, Brandon Rogers. And I don't have a whole lot of doubt that he is going to talk to us after. But I can't tell you, I do know what the front 2 rows are, and that is not our front 2 rows. So let's take a look at the grid. And I know the front 2 rows are going to be wrong here because I know Billy Barros will be your pole sitter, and he'll have Reed Brochart on his outside. David Krikorian will stay where he is at, and Brendan Rogers will slide back into that fourth starting position. Behind that, the 7 of Craig Silby inside row 3 with Josh Gerlach, and the 71 on his outside. 13 of Wayne Adelsky, row 4 to the inside with Garrett Boyd, the 21, on his outside. Your 5th row will line up inside 88 Riley Scott, outside 28 Bobby Yankee. And the 6th row, there's your points leader. He is way at the back. Got a lot of track to make up here. 49 of Bo Brandon. And the outside of that row, the 37 of Austin Motley. And our back row, the 98 of Brett Wagner on the inside. Mike Geppert in the 81. He will start outside. 32 laps are listed. They will take 2 laps apace. Line the cars up. This will not take long. It is just a 4-car redraw. We're moving 4th to 1st, 1st to 2nd, and 2nd to 4th. How David Krikorian got to sit still is kind of beyond me, but I'm sure that was just, he was going to be P3 and he drew P3. So they'll drop the green flag. We'll pace around, get everybody lined up single file, and then we'll ask the cars in 2nd, 4th, 6th on back to move to the outside row. Get another pace lap, make sure they are completely aligned, and then at the end of lap number 2, officially, the pole sitter will start the race, and after that, 30 green flag laps. We'll talk to the top 3 at the end. Again, appreciate everybody being here. Guys, do not be afraid to shout out in the chat. Let us know you're watching. Let us know where you're watching from. I don't care if you're on YouTube, Twitch, Trovo, or Facebook. If you're on YouTube, Twitch, and Trovo, hit the subscribe button. You'll know every time we go live. If you're on Facebook, like, share, and follow on the Dirt Racing Network's Facebook page. Oh, do we have fireworks early in this one? Apparently, we're going to shoot the fireworks off before we finish the race. There is nothing quite like a good iRacing glitch to get you going for the evening. All right, we'll start double filing them up right here. And then once we come back around to turns 3 and 4, Barros. Well, that's not the lineup that I was sent. Barros and Rogers on the front row. Krikorian and Gerlach, Silby and Boyd. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm so confused. I was sent the lineup, and that's not the lineup. Where did Brochart? Brochart, problem. That's why. Brochart has a problem. Reed Brochart had a problem, had to pull off, and he is rejoining things way at the back. But we're underway. Green flag and Brochard. Yeah, Brochard just now getting to the start finish line. Must have had some kind of mechanical problem. Had to go in and get it. We're going to throw a caution. I don't know if Austin Motley crashed. We're going to look and see if it is. That's fortuitous for Brochard because he's going to get all of his wave rounds. Oh, yeah, right there. Not necessarily a crash, but he's sideways and company's still coming. So that will set some things up. We should see Brochard get back where he's supposed to be at the tail of the field anyway, instead of half a lap behind. And Austin Motley got everything right and went and got it checked out. He rolled back onto the speedway, and he is coming around out of turn number 4. There is Reed Brochard. So the quick caution: Barros, Krikorian, Rogers, Silby, Gerlach, Boyd, Anelski, Yonke, Scott, Brandon, Wagoner, Gephardt, and then Brochard Motley at the back. It looks like we're getting ready to go back to the green flag. Short caution. And here comes Barros on the throttle, bringing us back around. They're fanned out 3 and 4 wide down the back stretch. That's Yonke on the bottom. Riley Scott in the middle. Brandon all the way up by the fence. Brandon just trying to make up some spots. They're 3 wide at the front. Barros, Rogers, and Krikorian now going at it. Rogers has the high ground and the lead. 4 laps into this thing, and he's already at the point. Now, we have said it before. We've seen last lap passes for the win here. So if this track does go a little slick, especially up near the top, that could change everything. And the first guy down on the bottom, as usual. Well, he goes middle in 1 and 2. He was right up against the inside fence down here in 3 and 4 the last time by, and I just caught a glimpse of it when he did it. But Craig Silby, usually our resident bottom feeder. He and Bo Brandon pretty good at running around the bottom, and I don't know, Brandon mired in 11th and running the top side. That may not be very good for him right now. He may have to migrate down and see if there's something on the bottom, try to make up some of these spots. Bad heat race. It mired him into a deep starting spot in the field, and he has not moved forward one bit. We'll get back towards the front. This is 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Barros, Krikorian, and Silby, as Brendan Rogers now is really just starting to drive away from these guys, and he's going to put it in cruise control. 3 wide behind. That's 4th place, David Krikorian. Right behind him, Josh Gerlach, Wayne Anelski. Gerlach's on the top, Anelski on the bottom. Anelski still putting up a good fight with Gerlach. Now gives up a spot. Yonke got around him. The gap at the front is kind of equaled out. Oh, car into the fence. I'm not sure who that was. That Craig Silby? It sure was. Silby got the fence out of 2. And he's going to fall all the way back to about the 8th position. He'll have to regroup and go at it again. We're under 20 to go. We'll check on Billy Barros in 2nd. He is a full 2nd behind Brendan Rogers. Krikorian, about a 2nd behind that, and he's got company. Here comes Josh Gerlach. Gerlach trying to get on the podium again. Picked up his first win of the season last week in the 2nd show. He's trying to parlay the momentum into another podium finish here, but he's got to get around the 66 car. He's got all kinds of company, and Bobby Yonke, the 28, right behind. Through the middle, Gerlach. Yonke to the top side. Yonke may have found something up there. Thought he had a good run on the exit of the corner. If he would just move that car up, get the right rear right up there where you see that dark strip at the top of the track. That's basically a launching pad. Get the car straight across the center of the corner. I think he would zip right by Josh Gerlach. But Gerlach has brought him up to Krikorian, and now it's a 3-car battle for the 3rd spot. Yankee right to the fence. He's able to hold serve right there. This is the best battle on the track. Wayne Anelski now throws a 4th car into the battle for the 3rd and final podium spot. Crossed flags this time by Rogers, halfway home. Yankee around the top side. He's going to clear Gerlach, move him to 4th, and he got a run right there out of 2. And then it faded away down the backstretch. Krikorian. Almost the same exact line that Yankee's trying to run. Right to the middle and then drop the car down on the exit of the corner. This time Yankee with a big run. Thought we might go see a slider right there, and that just wasn't the place for it. Clips the fence down the backstretch. No, that was Josh Gerlach. Excuse me. I thought Anelski had moved to the top right there, but it was Josh Gerlach that clipped the fence. We're going to be 10 to go, and the gap at the front starting to close up. The top may be going away just a little bit. Barros has it down to about 0.6. He had it down to a half a second. He is running that slider line and letting the car really bite coming out of the corners up high. Rogers now has gotten himself into a modified short slider line, and he is starting to open the gap right back up. Let's go back to the battle for 3rd. Yankee now lets Krikorian know he's there. Krikorian's got the top side of 3 and 4 pretty much down to perfection. He lets the car straighten out just a little bit. Right in the center of the corner. It gives him a good run across the top of the corner. And now he has started to open up the gap again on Yankee. Six to go. Rogers now starting to inch away. Oh, and a mistake from Krikorian, and it causes Yankee to have a mistake, and we're going to have a caution. We were watching that happen. And Yankee avoids Krikorian, who clips the wall right there. Got the car a little out of shape. And then that right rear getting pitched out. And Yankee tried to avoid going over it, or maybe he caught a little bit of it. It was hard to tell. And he flat sides it right into the outside wall. And 360, he's going to keep going, but he is going to go way to the back now. The gap got cut to half a second, then started to open back up, and we're back to almost 0.9 of a second when the caution came out. So this will bring Barros, Krikorian, and Anelski back in tight to Rogers with about 4 to go. Make it 5. Wave lap time, 5 to go. Session number 1 about to come to a close. 5 laps remaining. Single file, Rogers, Barros, Krikorian, Anelski, Silby in the top 5. Back to the throttle, big jump. Big jump for Brendan Rogers. Perfect start. Couldn't ask for it to be better. She opens that up to about 15 car lengths, and he just drives away out of 2. Barros trying to hold serve, wanted to stay close, have a shot for Another fantastic lap. Last lap pass. That's easy for me to say. Look who's up to third. Wayne Anelski with a good run on the restart. That time Krikorian finds the fence. Here comes Silby. He's trying to avoid that slipping around car in the 66, and he is going to go for second. Almost got to Anelski right there. But the Kiwi Conqueror making a comeback. Up to the top, looking for the drive down the hill. He clears Anelski, at least for the time being. 2 to go this time. Anelski back in front of Silby. That time, Anelski slipped a little. Silby found some drive, and Silby goes by into third. Anelski fourth, Krikorian fifth, and we have caution again. I think Riley Scott in the 88 car. Right here, the red, white, and black machine is going to have problems in 1 and 2. Big slider from Brandon. Oh, and a little net code. Yeah, he got into the back of Brandon right there. Brandon threw the bomb slider and got the car upset, and with company coming, they're always going to throw that caution if you pass 90 degrees. So a 2-lap shootout to wrap this one up. Rogers, Barros, Anelski, Silby, Krikorian, Gerlach, Boyd, Wagoner, Brandon, Yonke, Gebhardt, and then Riley Scott. Brochart, a lap down, and Motley also a lap down. Back in 13th point. Both cars on the track. Pace truck getting out of the way, ready to get back to the restart, and once again, Brandon Rogers perfect on the restart. Anelski trying to hang on in front of Silby. Went through the middle. Got a good run on the exit. Silby didn't have much coming up off the bottom. Now they're back together in 3 and 4. It's a 4-car race at the front. White flag in the air. Next flag ends it no matter what happens. And a big run for Barros out of 2, but he wasn't able to go anywhere with it. We'll get into 3 and 4. Can Barros set the car, drive the hill, get underneath? No, he cannot. Brendan Rogers wins race number 1 at Eldora tonight. Barros second, Anelski third, Silby and Krikorian 4 and 5. Let's see. I do not know if we're going to get Brendan Rogers' car back around. Let's take a quick look back. Yeah, he's having a hard time driving, but he might be able to get it back around here for interviews. Waiting on Wayne Anelski to get himself situated, make his way where we can chat with him. Don't forget about show 2. As soon as we're done with interviews, we'll head for the other server. There's Wayne Anelski. Wayne Anelski, you got a copy. Got to unmute the mic, buddy. There it is.
How's it going?
Not too bad, man. Third place tonight on what looked like kind of an interesting track. Guys were able to move all over the place. You found enough grip to get yourself on the podium this evening.
Yeah, it was a battle, especially with Craig right behind me. You know he's coming.
Every single time, and had an interesting start to that. He dropped to 8th, come back to 4th, but that last restart, it looked like you guys were all able to stay in a pretty tight group. Just didn't have anywhere to make any inroads and maybe pick up another spot or two, did you?
Yeah, we're getting close to Billy, but he's just got the speed, and then Brennan is just gone. So it was a good race, good battle. It was a fun one too.
Well, we're going to have a little different track conditions maybe in the second one. Maybe at least another podium or try to improve and move up a step.
Oh, we're going for the win. We're always going for the win. But I'll always take a podium.
Hashtag send it. All right, man. Give me some shout outs, some thank yous, and we'll let you head over to the second session, my friend.
Shout out Precision Detailing. Shout out Josh and Robert for hosting. Thank you for broadcasting. And thanks for everyone for having a good race.
All right, man. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing what you can do in session number 2.
Thank you.
Wayne Anelski finishing in a third, session 1 now. Haven't talked to him in a little while. It hasn't been that long, but in a little while up here on the podium. He runs second to Brandon Rogers tonight. Driver of the 38, Billy Barros. Good run, my friend.
Roger Wagner. Yeah, thank you very much. That was a lot of fun. I was just chatting it up with Brennan there. Really good battle. Congratulations to him on the win. I was just telling him when I got split by him and DK in the first couple laps, it was not a lot of fun from my perspective, but hey, it is what it is. Happy to take second any day.
Soul crusher. Get past on the inside and the outside at the same time. But, man, you put up a fight, and you had it down there pretty close. You were within half a second, and then maybe he hurt you there, and you just kind of started to get away, and the restarts were really not your friend this evening.
Yeah, that's been a struggle of mine for a long time, but hey, I was just happy I kind of kept it within a couple tenths there, and yeah, he changed his line from the top, and I was kind of running middle and slider all race, and it was just working for me, and as soon as he changed his line, he didn't walk away. I just had nothing left for him, but hey, that was so much fun.
Well, we're still looking at the overall picture here and the Ironman, and you're not too bad off in the Ironman. Has that really been the focus since the season has kind of been a wash?
Yeah, I guess you could say that. I'm really just trying to do the best I can every single week. So these podiums definitely help that cause, and we'll start looking at that bigger picture here in not too long.
All right, man, give me some shout-outs, some thank yous before we shoot you out of here and get you in the second session.
Of course. Thank you, Roger, as always, for covering us. Absolutely love the streams. Love going back, and you do such a great job. Thanks to Josh and Robert for putting this thing together, and SimRep Market for sponsoring the series this season. I forgot to say that the last couple times I was up here. And, it's been a lot of fun, so thanks again.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us. Congrats on a great run. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to you at the end of the next one.
That sounds good. Thanks.
All right, Billy Barros finishing in a second in session number 1. We talked to him during the pre-feature warm-up, and the car looks a little worse for the wear now, but pretty much a clean race. He went 4th to 1st, and Brandon Rogers made it look pretty easy again.
Yeah, I mean, it helps when the guy starting in front of you disconnects and gives you the front row, but no, it was good. I was hoping that the top would scare people and more people would run the middle and burn that off quicker, so I could just run the top the whole race, but I don't know. I think by the time I bounced off the wall in the backstretch, I figured, okay, it's time to run the middle a bit. So it's tough, man. You don't know where anyone's running behind you, and I saw Billy was closing in when I was running the top, so I knew I had to try something. Just didn't know what kind of antics they were up to behind. So try to run a good middle line so I could be prepared for anything. If they showed a nose, I could dive under or slide high or do something goofy. So it worked out. Those late yellows scared the heck out of me. I just wanted to close off turn 1 so no one could slide me. That was my only worry. And I think the finish was 0.1 seconds to the line. I don't know what the heck they were doing. I'll have to rewatch the replay. But no, it was a good race overall. Got to thank you, of course, for putting the broadcast on, Josh for putting the series on. Guys over at Indie Esports always doing a great job helping me out. And we'll try to do it again in the next race.
All right, man. Well, always a pleasure to chat with you. Congrats on a win. And what would that be? Sweep number 3 or number 4 if you could pull this off? I lose count now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
It's a
Who
bunch.
needs to count?
It's a bunch. That's all we know. It's a bunch, man.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, good luck in session 2, and hopefully we get a chance to at least talk to you on the podium. If not, right up there on the top step again next time.
Yep, I appreciate you, boss. Hopefully I'll talk to you again today.
Brandon Rogers winning another one. If I had that open, and I don't, I should. Wait, I might. I do have that open. Brandon Rogers, win number 8 on the season. I did have it open. Woohoo, I did something really good for a change. Brandon Rogers with win number 8 on the season, and we're going to see if he can put number 9 on the board here. in the next one. And that'll put him on the hot shoe for the season finale, which will be tough because at Lima Land, maybe that is not where you want to be. So, I don't know. But let's look at the results for session number 1. Rogers, Barros, and Nelski, 1, 2, 3. Silby with a nice recovery. Was running up there, 3, 4, 5. Clipped the fence, I believe out of turn 2 it was. And he dropped all the way back to about 8th or 9th. And then worked his way back into the top 4. David Krikorian, solid run for him. Kept it in the top 5 all night long. Bo Brandon did make up a lot of spots there. He did start, where did Brandon? So he started about 11th. And he ends up in the 6th. So that'll help him preserve at least a portion of his points lead. Josh Gerlach, 7th. Garrett Boyd, 8th. Brett Wagner, 9th. Riley Scott, 10th. Bobby Yonke in 11th. Mike Gebhardt, 12th. Reed Brochart was 13th. And Austin Motley, 14th. 3 laps down. But I think he had trouble in one of the incidents. He tried to avoid it, clipped the fence, and probably drove a damaged car the rest of the time. So,
scoring has ended.
Thanks for letting me know that the scoring has ended. And it's time to go to the second session. Guys, we're going to do what we did the last time. We're going to let you guys watch some commercials while we try to do this. Let's get some of our sounds a little bit on the muty side and go back and start with our newest partner at the Dirt Racing Network. See you guys back here in just a moment.
about 12 p.m. Too much Jack and too much Jim. My head's still pounding like a big bass drum. I reach over for an accent, but they're already gone. Another crazy night in this cowboy's life. 'Cause I do what I wanna, do what I please. And all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and to me, you know it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and give the fans my heart. Sing singing every night in a local bar. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's hard. Today in the life of a hillbilly rock star. Now along this road there's a lot I've learned, and everything I've got I worked hard to earn. I give it all up because I love my fans. But if you don't like me, well, I don't give a damn. It ain't hard to see why people wanna live like me. It's 'cause I do what I want, I do what I please, and all the bartenders let me drink for free. Everybody knows my name, and me, and it's just a game. Well, I get on stage and get fans my heart for singing.
All righty. We have made our way into session 2. Made the correct adjustments to, I think, all the equipment. These guys are going to get ready to kick things off here momentarily. Just got word from race control. They are ready to advance and head into the qualifying session. Once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in, guys. Hope you're enjoying the show. Shout out in the chat. Let us know where you're watching from. A big thank you to all of the partners here at the Dirt Racing Network. We saw a lot of those advertisements at the beginning of the night, and they're in the break between sessions. Right now, watching the 21 of Garrett Boyd. Bo Brandon just rolled himself out there, and he's getting ready to be on the clock. In fact, his first lap's about to come up for time right here. There went Boyd, 17:04. Gets bumped immediately. Barely Barrow, 16:90. There went Bo Brandon. There's Brandon Rogers, 16:68. Crushes the field. 0.2 of a second here is Bo Brandon. Bo Brandon second quick. 16:82. So Brandon trying to reel in Rogers. Rogers, second lap, a lot slower. He must have done something. That time, Brandon picked up just a little, 16:79. Gregorian up to third. Still be on track. He just finished up. He's ninth quick. Gebert out here. He is 11th quick. Doesn't look like, well, here comes Bobby Yonke. Bobby Yonke just now making his way onto the Speedway. The last of the 14 cars to take time. So right now, Rogers, Brandon, Krikorian, Anelski, Brochard, and Gerlach are locked in. Gerlach and Barros, they're down to the thousandths of a second for that sixth lock-in spot. Bobby Yonke keeping it up high on lap number 1. Get that big run, make his second lap the money lap if he can. Missed the entry a little, in my opinion. He was over a second off the pace up there around the top of the Speedway. He really needed to be a little bit lower on those entries. On lap number 2, but he is going to pick up time. He'll jump up to 17:27, good for 13th quick. Rogers just making laps. Like the guy that just won the last one needed more laps on the racetrack. All right. Well, a big thank you to all of the partners again. Appreciate everybody being here, guys, for the premier setups and all of the other stuff that they offer over there. Make sure you use Dirt Network 15 as your promo code as we're going to get ready for our LCQ. Barros and Boyd will be the front row. Sylvie and Wagner row 2. Gebhardt and Scott in row 3. Yankee and Motley. The final row. It's 10 laps. These guys are racing for their final starting spot. The best they can do is start inside of row number 4. But the closer you are to the front, less cars you got to pass, the easier it can be on you. So they definitely don't want to rely on their qualifying time. They want to get out here, put some extra laps on track. That helps too. Pace truck should get out of the way. And the LCQ for session number 2 is underway. Almost a melee at the back, but they all get it straightened out and figured out. That was Gebhardt, Wagner, Scott, Yankee, almost came together. I think they've got it pretty much sorted out now. I saw Riley Scott go right up right rear, almost got into the fence. Whoa, Motley got out of shape. He may have collected Riley Scott in that. He did. Those two trying to get it straightened out and get going again, but here comes Craig Silvey. He is on the hunt. Catfishing the bottom right now, trying to get to the inside of Barros, and Barros is leaving enough room for him to get there. Just Silvy's got so much speed, the car won't stay locked in on the bottom. Brett Wagner into the 3rd spot, and Garrett Boyd up top, and he is running in that 4th position right now. Now Barros with a little bit of breathing room, giving him about 7 car lengths over Silvy. Silvy's still trying to run right down to the bottom, and Barros is about 1.5 lanes up from that inside wall. Garrett Boyd now working the top side, and he has got that cushion rolling pretty good right now. Worked his way around Wagoner. He's going to stay top shelf here. 4 to go. He's doing all this about 2 seconds behind that battle for the lead. Silvy just cannot get close enough. Put enough pressure on Barros to force a mistake. Now looks like he got a good run through the middle, but the exit choked him up. Every time he gets to the side of the 38 on that left side, just not enough momentum, and now he's there. We'll see what he can do in the bottom. Down here in 1 and 2. Right there, that's been choking him up a little bit. This time I think it was good for him. It's Craig Silvey down to the bottom, comes around. He'll get the white flag. Final time through 3 and 4 for the last chance. Qualifier, Craig Silvey will start inside row number 4. Barros 2nd. Boyd 3rd. Wagoner, Yankee, Gebhardt, Scott, and then Motley with a pretty busted up car is going to make his way around and get, that car just not handling very good. And he is going to make his way into the pits and get that thing fixed right after he gets across the checkered flag. So, only one race left on the night. It is the 30-lap feature. Couple of minutes in the warm-up for these guys. Let's talk to a driver we need to hear from tonight. Bo Brandon, you got a copy?
I do have a copy. How are you, Roger?
I'm okay, sir. Mighty struggles from the mighty Midget 49 tonight. Bad heat race, and it just doesn't seem like tonight here at Eldora is going your way. Can we turn this around in race 2?
Nah, probably not. I really suck at this track. I wish it was off the schedule, to be honest. I'm just not very good here. I kind of can't believe I came home with a 6th place finish, to be honest. I thought I was finishing outside the top 10 for sure. So, we live to fight another day. If I can get a top 5, I'm thrilled. I'm just not good here. So I have no expectations to be on the podium tonight.
Well, so when they say the struggle is real, you think Eldora.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Eldora, Charlotte is not a good track for me either. It's the big tracks. I'm not a candidate to win tonight. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, you had a pretty hefty points lead, and with just 3 features left, are you in protection mode, knowing that we're going to Lima next week?
Yeah, thankfully Lima's a good track for me. I can at least make up some ground there. So, and it's a you can't drop that week. So, really, all I need going into next week is I need to survive with a halfway decent finish here on the second race, and then I just gotta hope that the 20 car Brennan Rogers just has a rough night, and I come across with a couple podiums or something like that. That'll I think give me a really good chance at that. But it's a long hole to climb out of, so we'll see.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you taking the time. Good luck to you in session 2, and hopefully you can at least try to muster you a podium finish, and we can chat with you at the end of this one.
Thanks, Roger. Appreciate it.
Bo Brandon, driver of the 49, current points leader. They're getting ready to start this thing. Man, I'm falling behind, guys. I'm sorry about that. All right, here we go. Starting a lineup, and this is with the invert already in. It's going to be, whoa, the fix is in. I'm just going to call it like it is. 71 car on the pole. Oh, my gosh. Boy, you talk about sandbagging perfectly. That guy right there, Josh Gerlach. I kid. I give Josh a hard time. Good kid. 71 car, Josh Gerlach on the pole. Reed Brochart, the 93, will be on his outside. Your second row inside. 13, Wayne Anelski. We just talked to him, finishing third in the first feature. So great starting spot for him. Really picking up the program here towards the end of the season. Hopefully he can parlay that into something for the next season. David Krikorian, 66 car, will be on the outside of that second row. Then we just talked to Bo Brandon. He is starting in the 5th spot tonight after a great qualifying effort. Right next to his nemesis in the series, the 20 and feature number 1 winner, Brennan Rogers. Craig Silby, the 7 car. Row 4 to the inside with Billy Barlson, the 38 car on his outside. Your 5th row, 21 to Garrett Boyd inside. 98, Brett Wagner on the outside. And then our 6th row will be Bobby Yonke, 28 car inside. 81, Mike Gephardt on the outside. And the final row this evening for the final feature, 88 of Riley Scott inside. 37 of Austin Motley on the out. We're ready to drop the green flag and get this party started. Green flag in the air. Through 1 and 2, they'll fan them out. 2, 3, 4 wide. Fireworks going off early once again. Guys, sorry that's going to block up the view a little bit, but I can't help it when they have a glitch. Bo Brandon to the bottom of a 4 wide stack, and he takes a spot away from Craig Silby. Now inside 3 wide. As he was on the bottom, they're going to go 4 wide again with Krikorian, Brochart, Silby, and Brandon stacked up. Now a shot in the back end. Brendan Rogers gives to David Krikorian. Krikorian was a little slow through the center of that corner. It's all Gerlach out front, and Elski second. Brochart there in the 93 is third. We're watching the 4th, 5th, 6th. Oh, my gosh, all the way back to about 10th. They are 2 wide. Looks like we're pacing at full speed right now. This far from being settled. Almost 3 wide again. And there goes Bo Brandon right to the bottom where he likes to be. And he and Craig Silby both like to run down there. But I think Brandon has got the 49 car really locked in on the bottom. And he has run a little bit tighter line to the fence than anybody out here. Craig Silby with a nice move around Brendan Rogers, at least for the time being. And he takes away the 3rd spot. Rogers back to his old tricks, ripping the lip. And he is trying to work back around Silby. Silby on the slider line, leaves the door open. A lot of momentum lost when you climb the hill like that. And Rogers now drives it right on by and into the 3rd spot. So make it Gerlach and Anelski and these 2. Right here, Anelski and Rogers going at it, and then Rogers grabs the spot away. Nelski back to third. Silby's right there. Here comes Bo Brandon. We talked to Bo. Not a big fan of the place, but seems to be having a pretty solid run in session number 2. Started 6th. He's battling for 3rd. Caution for the first time. David Krikorian. Problem for the driver of the 66. Up along the outside. Got Garrett Boyd right behind him. Oh, yeah, he got the door closed on him. I don't know if Riley Scott knew that he was up there with that much of a head of steam. And he got that right rear across in front of the left front of Krikorian. Or, yeah, of Krikorian's left front. And David went for a little ride. So we'll slow things down. Probably not what Josh Gerlach wanted to see. He wanted to have a few more laps to try to keep Rogers at bay. But now he'll have to restart with Brendan Rogers right on the push bar. On the back. So with 22 laps to go, Gerlach, Rogers, Silby, Brannon, Anelski, Scott, Boyd, Barros, Brochart, Wagner, Yonke, Motley, Gebhardt, and Krikorian all the way at the back. Now, wasn't about 7th or 8th. So he's going to lose about that many spots getting to the back. Green flag back in the air. Gerlach got a pretty good start. Here goes Rogers. Slider across the back into the 71. And Gerlach looking at the slider line. Rogers across the top. Big run. He was almost stacked 3 wide. Top 3. Up against the outside wall now. And they're going to keep a single file line. The only driver to change that was Craig Silby, who went slider into 3 and 4. He stays around the outside in 1 and 2. There's a stack up behind that. Brandon Anelski. Riley Scott right in there. So is Garrett Boyd. Top 2 content to just run single file here, creeping in on halfway. Gerlach about 7 car lengths out in front of Brendan Rogers, and he is running it right up against the fence, right rear. Almost dragging. That time Rogers went in low, maybe showed him he was there to see if he could force a mistake. 16 laps to go. 14 laps into it. Once again, Rogers shows him that he's there. Gerlach, good run down the backstretch, maintain it. Silby now. Up here, battling for 4th, battling for 3rd. He's right against the inside. The 2 guys on the top, Bo Brandon, who we don't normally see way up there. He is going to take that 3rd spot away, and then Garrett Boyd with a good run, figuring things out here in the 2nd session. We'll move by Silby into the 4th spot, put Silby back to 5th. We'll go back to the front because now Rogers pulled ahead momentarily. Gerlach, unfazed, keeps it up against the outside wall. Good run through 1 and 2 for Gerlach, stretches it out. It was about 4 car lengths going in. It's about 15 now. Rogers went through the middle and lost a lot of space. Goes through 3 and 4 and gets half of it back in 1 set of corners. Only a 1/10 of a second difference between the 2. So this time Gerlach drops it in the middle, slides it out to the outside. That gives Brendan Rogers about 5 more car lengths. Oh, that time a bump into the fence, and now Rogers is there, goes to the high side. New leader down the back stretch. Brendan Rogers took advantage of the miscue from Gerlach. He changed his entry ever so slightly. Got the car out of shape, and now He's going to have to regroup and try to run it down the driver of the 20. Bo Brandon up to third, and he's opened the gap on fourth place, Garrett Boyd. Boyd has a big gap on Sylvie. Just cracked inside 10 to go. Gerlach trying to get there. I don't know if that entry line is going to work out. He's right against the outside in 1 and 2. That's where he really does need to be. But this entry line in 3 and 4, I'm not sold on because you lose momentum right there. Trying to get the car gently up to that little bit of fluff. Oh, Brandon turning some of the quickest laps on the track right now, but he is not making inroads on Brendan Rogers. As Rogers comes around, 6 laps remaining. Opened it up to a 2.25 seconds. Boyd still 4th, Sylvie 5th, Morrow 6th, Scott 7th. Anelski, Wagoner, Yonke, Motley, Brochart, Krikorian mired back here, and then Gephardt right behind him. They're coming out of turn 2. Your leader, well, he's already in turn 1, so just about a straightaway separating them. With 5 to go, I do not think that we will have lap traffic become an issue. Two seconds the distance between first and second. 3 laps remaining. Another 2.25 seconds. Back to third. Garrett Boyd to third. Bo Brandon has fallen all the way back to 6th. No crash. He must have just got uncomfortable along the fence and got the car out of shape, because Garrett Boyd now is in a podium spot coming around to take the 2 to go signal. Brendan Rogers is all but gone. 2.5 seconds. Now Sylvie, slider line, trying to close in to get on the podium. Has had a great string of podiums going until this last race, where he completely missed the podium. Now on the white flag lap, can he get up here and challenge Garrett Boyd for that final podium spot? It is all Brendan Rogers out in front as he comes out of turn 4. He'll sweep tonight, and he will be hot shoe to start the evening of next Thursday on championship night. Gerlach second, and Garrett Boyd will hang off the third. Craig Sylvie and Billy Barros 4 and 5. Bo Brandon started 6th and finishes 6th. He was up to 3rd. So let's talk to the driver. The last time we were at this speedway, he picked up the win with a last lap pass. Tonight, in session number 2, he drives it to a 3rd place finish. Garrett Boyd, vast improvement over session number 1.
Yeah, as you notice, the track got a little bit slicker than it was in the first session. It feels like anyway, so that was a little bit of an advantage on my part.
Yeah, it looked like you were able to keep it locked in on the fence. A couple of bobbles up there, but through all the challenges, you really didn't waver too much, and you stayed true to your line.
Yeah, I like running the top here. I always like any car I've run at Eldora. I like running the top, and I can never really figure out the bottom here. So I was kind of worried noticing it was slicker up top when we got to the session, but it kind of played it in my favor.
Well, an awesome run. You're going to finish on the podium here and maybe build some momentum as we head towards Lima Land next week.
Hopefully so. It's not my best track, but we'll see what we can do.
All right, man. Give me some shout-outs before we let you get out of here tonight, buddy.
I got to thank DSSN, Josh for putting this on, and then Simrack Market for sponsoring it.
All right, man. Congrats on a great way to finish the evening up, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
All right, thank you.
Garrett Boyd finishing in 3rd spot tonight here in session number 2. And now He won the last session last week. Tonight he comes home second at a completely different racetrack, but he led quite a bit of it. Josh Gerlach, that restart in the middle right there probably did not do you any good.
No, I felt pretty good, and Brennan and I were just talking that it's just one mistake, man. It's like the razor's edge up there. I don't know how it came across on the broadcast, but man, like you're planting the right rear right on the fence, and as you saw, like one little mistake, and with somebody as good as Brennan behind you, that's all it takes.
Yeah, I was line shaming you the whole time for changing and moving to the middle and trying to be so deliberate getting it up to the cushion or the fluff up there. You trust me, you're going to hear it in the broadcast, man. I was trying to will you to drive that thing deep into the corner right on the top and make up all that ground you were losing to Brennan there. But still a good run. This track was completely different than the first one. It looked like it was better for you for sure.
Yeah, I just didn't feel quite right in that first one, and just ended up kind of mid-pack, and on a track like this, momentum's king, and just couldn't quite wind it up. Bent something in the right side too early on and catching the fence. But yeah, we were just talking. You can't cheat the cushion going into one. You really do have to step on it. And I'm just glad we ended up with a second place. That'll help us a lot in the Ironman. And yeah, hopefully we can keep it rolling next week into Lima Land.
All right, man. Give me some shout outs and thank yous before we let you head out of here tonight.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for putting this on every week on the DRN. Congrats to Brennan on another sweep. He'll be hot shoe next week. Then yeah, shout out to netcoachshop.com, Methanol Moonshine, Victory Fuel, and everybody that makes this possible each Thursday. It's fun showing up with a full field, and look forward to championship night next week.
All right, man. Real quick for me, flick your driver's hat off, throw your admin's hat on. Is hot shoe really slowed that guy down much?
It doesn't seem like it, does it?
It does not.
Seems like anything, any track does not matter. He's gonna
win 9 out of 14 races now. I don't think Hot Shoe's doing anything to that guy.
Right. Hey, I was one of the guys that beat him, so I can hang my head on that, right?
That's what I'm talking about, man. Oh well, congrats on a great run. Thanks for chatting with us, man. I look forward to seeing you at Lima Land next week for championship night.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Roger.
Josh Gerlach finishing second, and now the brooms are out, and they're not beating him over the head with them. They're kind of cleaning up around the car. It looks a lot better this time than it did when he drove it up there on that platform after session number 1. But same result, 20 car in victory lane. Brendan Rogers, we don't know how to slow you down.
Yeah, I mean, that was a lucky run. I kind of got stuck back there for a bit off the start, just needed a clear top. It looked like everyone was kind of scared of it, so at least from what I saw, the top 5 or so weren't really running it other than David. So I kind of knew that the top would be good quite a bit longer this race. So figured I'd have a clear run, and then Josh switched up there, and he was pulling on me for a good amount of laps, running the same line. Didn't really know what to do. So tried middle 1 and 2. It would work one lap, didn't work the next. So kind of figured, man, I'll just ride in his tracks, and if he makes a mistake, I'll just pray to God I can drive around it. And it was narrow, but we got around him, and from there it's a bit easier to hold that spot, knowing kind of where the track was going. So overall, glad I didn't have to start in the back, because I would not be talking to you. But no, it was a good run. Once again, thank you for broadcasting. Thank you to Josh for putting the series on, and all the drivers, of course, and Indy Esports guys for always supporting me.
Well, you do know that next week at Lima Land, you do have to start at the back, right?
Yeah, you'll have that. And I've said this before, and I swear I'm telling the truth. I am so bad there. It's not even funny. It's going to be brutal, and I'm not going to have much time to practice it, so I'm just going to try and get 30 minutes in here and there just to see what I can do to make up for my lack of talent on that track. But we'll try that as championship night. There's no skipping it and playing sick. There's just show up and do what you can. So we'll see.
Yeah, you can't use the championship night as a drop week. So we'll definitely have to see you there next week, and you'll start Shotgun Charlie in session number 1. But an awesome run tonight, man. Congratulations on picking up the sweep again. 9 wins this season in 14 races. That's I cannot believe you're not leading the points still. So hopefully we get a chance to see you carve from the back to the front at that tiny little high bank track next week.
I think Josh mentioned earlier I am leading by 21 points before the session started, counting for drop weeks. So I am in the lead technically, but there's still can still lose it by making some dumb mistakes. So we're gonna try and avoid that. Just keep the nose clean, and it's hard to slow down a guy like Bo.
Yeah, I think I may. I think I may have the Iron Man and the season points confused right now. So, but either way, man, it's been an awesome season. It's been a lot of fun to watch you, man. I can't wait to see what you're going to do at Lima next week. Again, congrats. Thanks for chatting with us, and see you on championship night, man.
Appreciate you, Roger. See you next week.
Brennan Rogers with the sweep tonight. Unbelievable. Guy's just, man, he's fantastic. He's just a heck of a driver. So let's take a look at the results before we close things down for the evening. Rogers, Gerlach, and Boyd this time. Same number one, completely different drivers in second and third. Sylvie was fourth again. Barrows in the fifth spot. Brandon held steady. Started sixth, finished sixth. Riley Scott seventh. Wayne Anelski eighth. Brett Wagoner in ninth. Bobby Youngke 10th. David Krikorian 11th. Reed Brochart in 12th. Mike Gebhardt 13th. And Austin Motley rounded things out. Another good night of racing. That was good. We didn't have but just a couple of cautions all night long, and the racing was actually pretty good. We got to see some 3 and 4 wide. Next week, if we see 3 and 4 wide, that might get exciting. Tiny little confines of Lima Land Motorsports Park. Championship night for these guys, and then we'll let you know what's going to be going on for their summer sizzlers. They're going to do some stuff for their Ironman, but they are going to have gaps between their races for the next probably 2 months. So we won't be on every single Thursday night unless we just don't have anything to do and they happen to be racing. Appreciate everybody being here, guys. Do not forget your like, shares, follows, and subscribe on the big three, Trovo, YouTube, and Twitch. We will be back Wednesday night as we try to get that 8th and final qualifier for the Chandler Grand Prix in. Had to postpone it. Yeah, I know it's listed on the page, but we had to move that back a week. If you are a midget driver, make sure you go register for that last 3 spots up for grabs. But we'll be back Wednesday night and then next Thursday night. Guys, have a very safe and happy Memorial Day weekend. Please remember what this weekend is for. It's not for barbecues and beers. Make sure if you see a vet or even someone current active duty, shake their hand, tell them thank you for their service, because that's what this is about. So have a fun weekend, guys. We'll see you next week. Until then, without you guys, there's nothing for us to, there's no reason for us to cover this, and without all the great leagues, there's nothing for us to cover. So we thank everybody there. Until we see you guys the next time. Peace and love to everybody. Keep the rough side down. And